Should have brought a cart.
This is what you intend. To bring these ancient things back to life.
Their power serves us.
Machine demons from beneath the ground. It's a nightmare.
Nightmares, yes. The worst dreams of our enemies come true. Yes, rise!
So much for catching him alone.
These things will destroy us all!
They will only destroy our enemies and bring us back the lands that were taken.
My fingers, you stopped working.
Search the area. We may have intruders.
Forgive this intrusion, Aloy. You left me no choice.
Who is this?
An interested party. Now their focuses are disabled, but I don't know for how long. The rest is up to you.
Who is this?
Okay, so today we're going to take out all of these enemies using nothing but stones and your spear. Hard one to do this. Sometimes it needs reset. I'm on ultra hard mode. As you see, I've got my stealth gear on. I've got all of the take down human enemies perks activated. I've got all the silent perks activated. You don't need all of that as long as you're careful, but it does really help. So you see around the arena there's these little traps which roll out logs. What you want to do is get a corruptor over near that and then trigger it. They'll either trigger it themselves when they walk over to it and get investigating it, or if they get too close, that is, I should quickly add. Or you can activate it yourself using rocks. Now, I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm aiming the rock at the furthest log or at the tripwire there, so that when I hit it, that will roll out and take out the corruptor. Now, it's important that you mark the corruptors, because then you know where they are at all times. Right, here it comes, and the second important thing is you do what I do and get in cover immediately, because on ultra hard mode, as soon as they spot you, once they're in yellow mode, in like warning searching mode, whatever you call it, as soon as they spot you, they'll go to red and all hell breaks loose. And you don't want that this early on. You've only taken out one corruptor, you've still got everyone up top to take out, and then you've got people down below. Now, after a while of taking people out, you are going to get spotted regardless. One time I managed to get nearly everyone, and then I was spotted with like 2 enemies left. But there is a way to get around that, which I will show you later, but there's also a way to do it without triggering anyone at all, and then just taking the boss down at the end. The main guy standing next to Olin. He will figure it out. When the last enemy goes down, he'll be like, hey, everyone's dead. Oh, she must be alive. I'll kill her. There's no getting out of that one. So I'm just waiting here for all the people to dissipate, for the warning lights to go off, and then I can make my move down to the next one. Now, I would seriously suggest marking up the cliff top enemies. Be careful, because some unmark themselves sometimes. But certainly mark as many of the cliff top enemies as possible. Also, as soon as you see that silent strike, hit it, because the longer you dilly-dally around, the more chance you are to get noticed, spotted, or they will hear you and turn around and say, hey, she's over here, and then you've got to start all over again, or just tough it out and fight. In ultra hard mode, it is very hard to tough it out and fight on this level. 2 good hits from a corruptor without healing yourself will kill you outright. And we're not even talking about rock throw hits, we're talking about land on you hits or just general stuff. Oh, it's... Now you see, the first log fall has changed the path of that corruptor. He usually goes past there, but it doesn't always work that way. There are other ways around that. There's log piles there, and then there's another one to the right further on. But he's going around a different way, so we can get around that. But I didn't manage to do it this video, to be honest. I tried to lure him in, but it didn't happen. So eventually I abandon the project and just move on then to the next area and the next bad guy to try and take out, because the eclipse on the top of the cliffs are your biggest foe when you start this. They are your lookouts. They can see you. There's a couple of ways you can take this guy out, by the way. There's a path going up the cliff to the right, or down under the cliff to the left. The path underneath the cliff is slightly riskier, especially if you get the prompt for pulling the body down, because that will alert the guards down below you, but I just want to go for it. But you can also use this to let him go past and do what I do and spring up and just take him out there, and that saves you from having to take him out and have him fall down. That's the last thing you want. You don't want people to fall down to the floor, because then other enemies will see that they've fallen and start looking for you, and then you've got to wait a long time for them to stop. So I want to go back to this point to have another go at the corruptor and see if I can get him into a trap. Long story short, I didn't, so let's fast forward that, shall we? So when you start this, it's very important. See, I'm marking up the people below now. The top is cleared, but when you start this straight away, it's very important that every kill that you do, certainly down there, you remain in cover. If you want to use those log piles to kill normal enemies, you can as well, but make sure you're hidden at all times, either in grass or behind like I am, wooden slats or a bit of a cliff face. As long as you remain hidden, they won't know it's you. They can't see you, and they'll be alerted, and eventually they will cotton on, but they won't actually go for you, and I will show you why later on. So I've got a couple of choices here. I can try that log pile, or I can try another one further on. I try and lure them in with a couple of good aim rocks, but it wasn't to be. The main thing about this as well is you want to have some extra spare rocks. You can get them in gamblers shard boxes. You can get them, you see it just rolled down and missed him completely. You can get them in treasure satchels that you get off bandits or shadow carja patrols, anything like that really. Just pick them all up and keep them in your inventory, and then it's useful then to stockpile them, so if you run out you can always go to your stockpile and get more. I think I got 7 in a satchel here, so roll back on into it with the normal speed again. So now I want to go down the cliff face. This one I got kind of risky here. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're doing the main trial of it. I'd carry on along the cliff face and then go left and down because there's more cover over there and you can pick 1 or 2 more guys off. And in my next playthrough, which I'll do this completely without using, or kill every enemy bar the last one. I was pretty good with this when I managed to kill quite a few, but I think I left 1 enemy and a corruptor standing, and this kill really bought it for me because it's right behind the boss's back, and it's suddenly like, the Nora girl lives, and I'm instantly in cover. Now they're focusing on Olin and they can't see me, so for that reason the corruptor and or the shadow carja will be looking for me, but they can't find me. So now I'm gonna sneak around the edge and go around the other way. The best part about this now is Olin will keep resurrecting himself from downed form and then going back to fight, and then he'll go back into down form. A good hit from the corruptor will take him out, but sometimes he gets a good swing in on the guards and takes out a few guards for you. The worst thing that can happen is that if he goes straight for the corruptor and like, I will defeat this mighty beast of the ancients with my hammer, and suddenly, you know, he's dead. So it's best to let them just go on at the moment. See, this route is the one that I should have taken in the first place, because that will give me a good vantage. Let me see everything that's going on. You see now, I've already got 1 corruptor and 1 guard that I can see. I don't think there's anyone else. I think that's just it. It's just those 2 left. So Olin's really doing all the work for me, and I still haven't really been picked up. He goes down, he comes back up, he kills a few more people, he goes back down. There's plenty of cover on this side. There's these wooden slats, and then there's the tall grass. It's very good for cover over here. Oh, hang on. There is a guy over there. Wait for him to turn himself around. Turn around, please. There it is. Slam. Spear in the back. Alright, so the other thing that you can do here to support yourself is start to lay traps, and I might actually do another quick show of that in another video, or I'll cut it to this video. I'll cut it into this video now, I think. Okay, so what you want to do for the traps is to make sure that you stay in cover, wait till Olin gets up and is distracting the beast, and then just retreat back into the tall grass once you set your trap. So you see I've put a balloon fire trap and then a lightning next to it, because that's what I had in my inventory, and over his path, and then he falls on that very nicely, very convenient, and then he's looking around. But what you want to do is make sure you're well aware that you're well away, from him. So I've retreated to this grass. What I need to be doing is go to the other grass on the left hand side. So I'll wait for him to turn his back, fire at Olin, and then I'll retreat to here, and then there's 2 fire traps waiting for him there, and getting my next traps ready. And you see that does a ton of damage. If you've got burning traps, that's good. If you've got explosive traps, that's also good. So returning back to this again, most people are now dead. There's just Olin and 1 other enemy, which is the corruptor. As soon as I kill that other enemy, be it the corruptor or the boss, then the other one will turn on me and instantly go for me, which I will show you now. Olin distracting, I kill him, and regardless, it's instant. I mean, I know he was right in front of me, but it would be instant no matter what. So I'm gonna go ahead and not kill this guy and reset this, because I need to have a this ready for a fresh playthrough so I can do it fully 100%, kill both corruptors, and then show you how to take out the guys. I'll show you that one next time. But if you do get into a bit of a bind with that one, that's a nice cheat and quite a nice way to get out of it and to leave you with less enemies. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.